it's okay to let go. You're not alone. Stand your ground, take it slow. The way you've been shown, trust yourself, you to get through. Now you're on the other side, living life again. It was a wild ride out of the rain into the sun. Look, you've won. Hello, hello, hello. And they called it puppy love. Oh, I love my little boys. I won't sing. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to give you all a few minutes to come on in. So, just a couple of quick notes. Here where I live, in Massachusetts, nothing, fantastical, except that it's bloody freezing. And it's crazy cold here. Crazy, crazy, crazy cold here. So, yay, we're here together. I'm so happy we're here. I'm just getting myself a little bit organized. I was running slightly behind schedule today. So, I know they are beautiful puppies. Steve, Jimena, Bacon, yay! I like that I call Ben Bacon. You guys are so fantastic for being here. Thank you so much. This really does mean the world to me. Yes, I have a kitty. And it wasn't fast enough to upload to my new computer a picture of her. But she's just becoming loving. So she's something else, I'll tell you. All right. Well, so, we've talked a lot about heart health, right? And some of the things that challenge us, and I'm going to talk about me because I don't want to put this onto anybody else, but heart health, right? Depression, grief, solitude, anxiety, PTSD, the difference between pet therapy and a service dog. And I think one of the other channels had recently a conversation about this. So I don't mean to be stepping on anyone's toes. This has been on my agenda for quite some time. And so, hey, Nico, you made it. It's almost past your bedtime if it isn't already past your bedtime. But, we all have different ways of coping. So this may not be for everybody. And I want to make the screen so that I can see, and I am going to turn off the puppies. I just needed to show you my boys. So I'm this one here. I don't even know if you can see my mouse hovering. So on the left, the dog with his face in the dog bed, that's Biscotti. The one whose head is leaning on his tushy is Luca. So there were 3 dogs in the litter. And I was originally supposed to get Biscotti, and someone else was going to get little Luca the runt. For whatever reason, that didn't happen. And I said, look, I'll take them because I know dogs need companionship. And at the time, I thought I would be working in and out of the home. So, um, you know, I I needed the love. I'm not going to lie. I was in a place where I had to sell the love of my life, which was my house. I loved my house. I worked so hard for most of my life to get this house. And the fact that I had to sell it, well, that was pretty crushing to me. Um, and so, you know, I I knew I was going to need companionship. I knew based on my therapy and having a kitty. And at the time, while I was selling my house, my sweet pea died. And my heart broke again. And both the doctors and my therapist were concerned because I had just gone through this heart event, right? And um, all right, I'm going to stop something right now. I'm going to arm wrestle you, Steve. Um, so I say dogs are fantastic, but so are cats. So we're not going to shame anybody for having dogs versus cats. And I know you're kidding. So, um, but I love them. And I was going to ask once this gets busy, um, to, you know, to put in the chat, you could just say dog or cat, and if you have one. But it doesn't really matter because people can use, um, my neighbor has, what the hell do they call it? It's not a muskrat. It's a little furry rat thing. Um, and another neighbor, thankfully no longer actually a neighbor, likes snakes, and that's her pet of choice. That doesn't bring me comfort, but I get it. Everybody has a different thing. Birds are therapeutic, so there's no limitation. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about the benefits of pet therapy, and then we'll talk about the difference between pet therapy and service animals. So, and I wrote some notes because, guys, I get I'm a little ADD. I'm a little squirrely. I get onto topics and I forget where I am. So at least this will just give me a guide. And I'm gonna put the boys to bed, and now you got me. Ah! So, well, Ben, we all want you to do a show. So, hello, friend. Anytime. And I know and I think you were serious. You wanted to talk a little bit more about hypnosis. I'd love to. I geek out on that. Okay, so let me go back to my squirrely brain. So, pet therapy. Pets are used for anything. There is no limitation to the joy that an animal brings us. Recently, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. I'll just say someone close to me already has 2 dogs and they got a third. And my initial reaction was, are you crazy? What do you, like 2 dogs aren't enough? You're going to get 3? Let me tell you something in 2 seconds. If I had a chance to get another one of these little Shih Tzus, I would do it. So I don't want to judge anybody for the number of pets that they have. And I was going to be judgmental. Mish, hi, how are you? Love to see all of you people. So pet therapy, right? What's the benefit? And I think we all pretty much can figure this out. They provide comfort, companionship, support for anybody that is experiencing either a physical limitation, an emotional, a spiritual, I call it a soul wrenching experience or challenge. I got you, boy. I got my little chunk of monka sitting right next to me, and I'd moved my camera, but I don't want to. I don't know if I can do this. All right, I'm going to tilt you guys. Do. There's my boy. All right, that's Biscotti. The difference between the two dogs. Biscotti basically tries to climb up into the womb. Wherever I am, he's attached to my hip. Luca also loves to be close, but he's very happy sitting on the ottoman in the window, which is bitter cold and freezing. But being the Italian mother that I am, I put an extra blanket there so the wind won't bother him. I know, a little much. Um, so there also becomes a bond between a pet and a human. And, you know, they, it doesn't matter if it's a horse, it doesn't matter if it's a bird, it doesn't matter if it's a snake. Yes, Eric, you mentioned last time, hi, that you had a Russian blue cat shadow. And, it, anything for us to love. And let's be honest, animals love unconditionally. Now, you don't have to say that they love, but I do. I believe animals love. Animals grieve their humans. So I believe wholeheartedly that there is a deep affection, affinity, whatever adjective you want to use. Animals, they feel. Don't care who you are. I love you all, but I'm telling you right now, everything, especially our pets, um, they recognize us. There was a study, I wish I had it. This is sort of a geeky thing. There was, I want to say a gorilla, but it might be just another word for gorilla. There's multiple species, but I think it was a gorilla. And the gorilla had created a bond with a human, and that human didn't exist. And that gorilla mourned like it was its own baby. So I believe wholeheartedly that our animals, um, they have feelings and they have attachments. So and when we're isolated as humans and in this world, especially after COVID, and I used to talk to a friend of mine who was, she's not was, she is um, a hypnotherapist as well as an instructor. And she gave me my first job with her. And she's the one who encouraged me to become a hypnotherapist. Um, and we used to talk all the time about the fact that 2020 created an additional level of isolation that we as a society haven't really snapped out of. And it's 5 years later, right? I mean, just about next month or April, March, April timeframe. It was different in every country, but all hell broke loose with COVID. And after that, it took a while because, at least me, I had just had my heart event. In 2021, 2022, I was still afraid to go out and socialize with people. So it really is, I'm feeling the need for comfort. I don't know why, so I'm just going to grab it. Um, it really is something that I think we're still morphing out of. We all cocooned, we all hunkered down. And once sort of the veil was lifted, right, we didn't all come running out of our houses. And then, at least in the United States, there were other political divisions that happened within our own communities, our families, our friends, and that became more isolating. I don't care what side of the aisle you are on, and I'm not talking politics. I'm just saying that that is an event that transpired in our country at that time period. that created serious chaos and serious division, and still is. And anyway, so our pets, they give us a purpose. So after my mom died, um, really, I say Sweet Pea, my kitty cat, saved my life because I had to get out of bed in order to feed her. I had to change her litter box. Um, she, again, I'm telling you, they have feelings. This cat would come and sit with me while I was crying watching TV. And I really wasn't watching it, it was just keeping me company. And she would sit with me and she would purr, and I would just feel that overwhelming sense of love for something. And I'm purpose driven. That is my nature. Um, I don't doubt that, Steve. So I just saw this pop up, but and I'll get to the chat in a minute. But I believe this. I do. I don't know if it's true or not. I don't even care if it's true or not. I literally believe when you are a regular presence in a creature's life, cows, ducks, chickens, my neighbor's chickens loved me. Loved me. Now, love is a strong word, but they knew when they escaped their pen that they could come up to my bird feeder, and I had worms for them, and I had extra little treats for them at my house. When it was really hot in the summer, they all hid underneath my shrubbery because I had beautiful gardens. Um, and so they actually would follow me from where I was on the porch to the garage, knowing they were getting a treat. And they would let me pet them. Some of them. There were a couple that, pecked me and were not happy that I was there. So I really I don't know how to say this name. One with cats. Hi. Is it Shell or yeah, I'm gonna say Shell. As in Michelle, but Shell. Welcome. Thank you. I haven't seen you before, and I'm so thrilled you're here. Um, and I really um I really think we connect, period. We just do. And maybe it's because we provide food. I don't know. But I'm going to choose to believe that there is a connection. So let me just stop for a second, go through my chat just to see if I've missed anybody. I know I said hello, but um, yes, DJ, I said Misha. Dun, dun, dun. I said hello to Jimena. So grateful you guys are here, Ben. Steve. I'm just going through to see if I've missed anybody else. I'm scrolling slowly. Okay, I don't know what this is. Brace, what's up? Pumapoo. Pumapoo pepper? Is that a name? Is that a breed? I don't know what that is. Let's see. Flick Flocks, hello, welcome. I didn't see you sneak in under the wire. Wow, Eric, you're all the way over there in California. I hope you're in a safe place, and I hope that the fires have died down. And one of my teachers was in California, and she was on high alert for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was really kind of anxiety producing for those of us that were her students. Okay, I'm just going through. 2 fur boys and a grand pup here. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Isn't that amazing? Um, and for me, yes, it's the snuggles, right? There are days, I'd like to be able to go to the bathroom without an entourage. Um, and I never had children, so I don't know if kids followed their parents to the potty or not. But I will say that you would think when they are not allowed to follow me that I have abandoned them and set them adrift without love and affection. They are wicked funny. All right. To do. Yes, Misha. Fur babies are patient. They do know our language. And and they also know when they can get away with things. And I would imagine that's very much like kids, smaller kids anyway. Um, they give you uh, Luca will give me this look. I don't think I can do it. I'm going to try to channel Luca for a second. Mom, I love you. Mommy, Mom, will you pet me? He gives you that look like, Mom, I love you. I can't live without you. I call him my lover. He gives you that lover look. Biscotti's more like, I want to just lick your nose and, crawl up into your lap and you can just pet me kind of dog. They're really funny. I love how they have different personalities. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to scroll. Pomeranian. Sorry, I'm not that bright, Braze. So, gotcha. Oh, yes, please send me a picture. You guys, I love animal pictures, so feel free. Oh, I'm so sorry. Having to leave California because of the fires. It just makes me sad. Okay. I know, Steve. It's like they have well, of course they have no boundaries. They stick, noses up each other's butts. So for them, it's, there are no boundaries with animals. Yes, all right, Flick Flock. So even being a nanny, you could never go to the bathroom alone. Hey, Rolling Stone, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. So let's talk about, I'm going to continue just so we can keep going. Grief is another one of those things that is a comfort. There's this unconditional and non-judgmental look. So when you're in the stage of grief, when you are bereft that you lost your human person, or even a pet, animals are non-judgmental. They're not there telling you, well, all right already, snap out of it. They're there to alleviate those feelings of loneliness. They're there to give you that sense of purpose I talked about. Taking care of them requires you to do something every day. And I 100%, and I know we've said this and several of you have said this, that they're intuitive creatures. So Jimena today was talking on her channel about how do you know intuition? How do you know when you have a gut instinct about something? How do you know this other sense? I'm sorry, animals know. And I had a weepy couple of days. Somebody I love very dearly, I call it the long goodbye. It's come on all of a sudden, and she is losing her memory. And I spoke to her today. I'm going to get verklempt. And in the conversation, she was so appreciative to hear from me, but I call her every week. Oh, it's been so long. I haven't talked to you in so long. How are you? How are the dogs? They're good, Auntie. And I had this whole conversation. And then she goes, yeah. And so tell me about you. How are the dogs? And I sat back a second and I'm like, okay, she's a little bit, maybe she's tired. Then she asked about my family and my brothers. And then she was telling me that she was looking through photos. And there's a photo of me and her daughter who just died, sitting in it, playing in a sandbox together. She goes, I'm going to send it to you because, when I'm gone, my boys are just going to throw all this stuff out. And I said, I would love that, Auntie. And then she asked me again how I was doing and how were the dogs. And then she said, and you know what? I just found this photo. So without beating this up, when I hung up with her, my heart just shattered, right, in a million pieces because she's my mom's sister. She was older than my mom, is older than my mom. Do I say is or was? I don't know the right grammatical structure for that sentence. I mean, she is my mother's sister, but my mother's gone. So I guess, well, whatever. Um, but when my mom died, my aunt and I, we literally talk sometimes twice a week, but usually it was once a week, and we could grieve together. We could miss my mom together. Her husband, my uncle John, um, couldn't be a better man, and just would say, "Teresa, sweetheart, we love you." I wasn't getting that from other places in my life. So to hear that just meant the world to me. And to see them being diminished by age. And look, that's what it is. They're in their 90s. Um, they're tremendously wonderful humans. Um, and hey, Cosmic. And so it's really, for me, the dogs knew. It was, I mean, at that point, Biscotti was sitting on his ottoman. Yes, I have an ottoman for each dog to sit by the window. It's a bay window, and uh, Luca came right over and he gave me those lover eyes, and then he just plopped right next to me, and really, it it really filled my spirit, because the long goodbyes are really hard. Um, And I think it's more difficult when someone's losing their memories, right? And I don't want her to forget me. Um, and, um, and yet it's a sucky journey for her family because she's been the strong one. And that's not the case anymore. She feels very vulnerable. And, so it's really, it's heart wrenching. So the point being, back to the pets, they know when you're in distress, and they can offer this soothing effect, right? They reduce that anxiety. Um, and then they force you to do things. Like I have to take them out for a walk. And I think I've shared on a couple of the other channels. It's been bitter cold here in Massachusetts. So I'm not going to compare to those of you in Canada, or because there's another channel, a homesteader I follow in Canada. He gets so much damn snow. I don't even know how he manages it, but it's the ice. Um, I had a layer of ice, 11 inches of snow. It was about 2 or 3 inches of rain that we got that became these claws of ice. So the puppies are having a hard time walking on it. And I can't take them for a walk anymore because it's just too painful for their paws. Today, the local town, they plowed the parking lot that I have to walk through to get to the dog park. We got to the dog park and I was like, they couldn't stay. Hey, Barbie, thank you for being here. Hey, Shannon, thank you guys for being here. So, it's really difficult when they don't get out and play. If it's snow, it doesn't matter. These two little chuckleheads love the snow. They jumped into it. They sank down. Little heads popped up out of the snow. They're white Shih Tzus, right? So it's really comical. But they force you to play. You can be depressed, but you're going to have to play. They're not going to not let you play. And one of the things that grief does, for those of you that have experienced it, is you know, we withdraw from society. We withdraw from either family or friends or community, and the pets create that sort of social introduction because you're out there with them and they walk up to somebody like, "Hey, how you doing? Go ahead, pet me. I love to be petted. Thank you. Pet me some more." And you have to be social. "Hi, how you doing? This is Luca. This is Biscotti." Um, and it forces you to be more interactive with your community, right? So it's really walking a dog leads to conversations with strangers. It leads to conversations with your neighbors, with fellow pet owners. It engages you. So it does force you out of your hibernation mode. Um, and along the lines of Heart Health Month, so let me just stop for a sec. When we think about Uh, so Jimena, I just want to address Jimena for a second because she's right. Look, cats do the same thing. You don't actually just take them for a walk, although I do know someone that does. But, you know, cats keep you sane. Cats can be challenging, but they are loving in their own way. And they know when you're not feeling well. They know physically if you have a cold. They will lie on your chest and absorb your germs. They are this amazing, aloof creature that can be kind and loving and playful. So I agree with you. Um, oh well, you have a baby brace, so you're gonna go crazy because when they're puppies, holy macaroni, they are you know, they're like the Tasmanian devils. They sleep, and the next thing you know, they just pop up and like, okay, let's go, mom, let's go. And I don't know what you do in your neck of the woods because it's cold. Let me see. Flixflox said, "My old dog looked like a puppy even his old age. Every single person wanted to pet him. Walks took forever. 100%. 100%. Um, and okay, so that's another conversation with people in the chat. Okay, so we this month, well, for the year, we're talking about the 12 laws of the universe, right? So the first one in January we talked about was divine oneness, how everything is interconnected, right? And that in February, we're talking about the law of vibration. So raising our vibration. Nothing raises our vibration more than our animals, whatever animals you have, horses, cows, dogs, goats, sheep, I don't care, pigs. Um, and these, they raise your vibration in a positive way most of the time. Um, I had a bird feeder at my old house, and um, son of a gun, if that bear didn't come, not bend the bird feeder pole down, he walked off with the two bird feeders right into the woods because I abutted the park. And that little sucker, he would walk right in front of me, in front of the porch, right to the bird feeder, like, hey, lady, you got me some food here. I don't want to go hunting. And so it's just fascinating. I would sit on my porch, watch the squirrels, the chipmunks. I had a groundhog who, funniest damn creature I've ever seen, the way he interacts. I loved bunny rabbits. They were few and far between, but I got to see them. And again, there's a community within these pets, within these animals. Um, it's a love language, and they really do boost your mood. They reduce stress. So, as we're talking in the month of February for heart health and how we can take better care of ourselves, we can eat better. Yes. We can exercise. Yes. Do not underestimate the affection of an animal. It's different with people. People, so I'm going to use my experience because maybe you all have a different experience, but I don't think that we want, I'm generalizing. I don't want some human up in my grill 24 hours a day. I don't mind cuddling. It's been a long time, but I don't mind cuddling. I don't mind hugs, but I don't watch up in my grill 24 hours a day. An animal, totally different. There's no expectation there. Maybe that's why. But I don't feel my space is threatened in the same way as with a human who is constantly up in my grill. So, the other thing with depression, with grief, with anxiety, with PTSD, you know, they lower the stress hormones. They keep you calmer. Um, it's a state of mind that they provide us. And in creating that responsibility, they really do um, create action. It's easy to not want to get out of bed, right? It's easy to not want to engage with other people. It's easy to not want to pay your bills or go to work, whatever it is. So I would say that there's such huge benefits here. And please don't let me forget that to talk about the American Cancer Society 62-mile walk for the month of March. I want to talk about that, but um, I don't want to become ADD right now. All right. So, where am I in my thought? Where did I go? We've talked about the unconditional love. We've talked about acceptance. Let me just check the comments because I haven't been as good. A lot of them are just scrolling by, and it looks like you guys are all talking amongst yourselves, which is fabulous. Da da da. Da da. A Rolling Stone. She's 10 months separation anxiety. Yeah, I know. And it sounds like Shannon was visiting someone, Mac, and got to see some cats. That's lovely. Um, and let's see. Um, all right, you guys are just basically talking amongst yourselves. Oh, sorry that you caught the flu, Shannon. I hope you get better soon. Let's see. Okay. Dun, dun. I'm just trying to catch up. Oh, absolutely, Jimena. Purrs from cats um, are very soothing. You just know there's a sense of contentment, right? They're content when they're purring and their bodies vibrate. My dog, when he snores and I pet him, there is this little sound he makes, and it's really beautiful. Oh, Barbie, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. I know that the dogs lived a beautiful life, and I'm sure you were wonderful to them. But that just, I'm sorry, it sucks. There's no other nice way to say it. Um, and you have to take your time to heal um, before you choose if you want to get another animal. It's a big decision, and I'm just so sorry that that happened. Um, and that's just a bim boom bam. That just, like I said, there's no other nice way of putting it. That sucks. Um, oh my goodness. Well, Shell, I'm sorry to hear that you totaled your car and broke your right hand. So I hope that heals well. Um, and let's see. Okay. So I don't want to get lost in all of my thoughts, and I am. I've talked about emotional supports. So, from a heart health perspective, bringing it back to the heart, um, it having a dog specifically um, encourages you physical activity, right? You have to walk with them, you have to do physical activity. It lowers your blood pressure with any kind of a pet. I happen to think dogs do it more. Um, it reduces the risk of heart disease and mainly because you're improving everything within your body. All the, excuse me, it adds dopamine to your brain, right? It relaxes you. Um, they bring you such joy. But it's been known to lower triglyceride levels. It's been known to lower cholesterol. That's again because you're engaged. You have to get out. You have to do things. Um, it reduces your stress hormones, which, your hormones are out of whack. Um, it can lead to chaos in your body. With PTSD, it's that companionship. Um, it can help. I don't want to say reduce flashbacks, but there is this comfort that an animal brings when someone is experiencing an event, a traumatic event, and they're reliving that traumatic event. There is a comfort with that animal that lowers your initial stress disorder. Um, and so you will see a lot of, especially military folks, vets, that have dogs because they are absolutely um, terrific as a therapeutic benefit of coping with your PTSD. They're not just only comforting, they're not judgmental. They don't give a shit what you experienced. They're not judging you for that. That also goes for firefighters. It goes for police officers, EMTs, anybody that works in trauma related careers. It grounds you. Oh, yes, you are grounded. Exactly, Misha. Um, and it's unconditional love for that person. And I can't really speak to men, but I have been told that men that have difficulty expressing emotions do it through their animals. So it does make them more willing um, to demonstrate affection to another life. And if it's to an animal, 2 thumbs up. That would be this. Apparently, I have a problem with math. um, and again, caring for a pet creates routine, folks. That's just what it does. You have to feed it, you have to pet it, you have to brush it, you have to clean it, you have to do all sorts of things. It creates a distraction, it creates a diversion in your everyday life. Um, and so, highly recommended. So, real quickly, the difference sort of between pet therapy, also known as animal assisted therapy, it's incorporating those dogs into therapeutic settings for physical, emotional, and social well-being. Um, and they are known to provide comfort and support in those environments. They bring them into hospitals, they bring them into nursing homes, schools. Um, and so the the difference with service animals, they are almost more work dogs. They are specifically trained to perform tasks. Say that one 3 times fast. To assist people with either disabilities, um, uh, anyone that has some sort of need to live their lives, right? So you have the uh, what do they call them? The dogs for the blind, dogs for hearing impaired, dogs for people with medical disabilities that need to have an animal. They are protected and can go with you. They're protected through the American Disabilities Act. So they can go anywhere with you. Now, there has been some brouhaha that you have to actually provide documentation now, even to get into certain restaurants. Restaurateurs don't want them in there. I understand that because some people were just saying that their dog was a service dog, but you have to be certified as a service dog. I don't care we do as humans have to be respectful. If restaurants have and public places have rules and regulations about who you can bring with you to a restaurant, you're not going to bring your horse into a restaurant, right? So why should you bring your dog if it's just a dog, if it's just your pet, if it's just providing you comfort? If it is not, I hate to say the word medically necessary, but if it is not approved and certified, then you're disrespecting the people around you, especially if your dog isn't appropriately trained. And look, I love to bring my animals, but I'm not bringing them to a restaurant. Would they eventually sit at my feet and behave? Absolutely. Would it take 15 minutes of them wanting to go greet everybody in the restaurant? Yeah, that's the nature of the dog. So, I want us to just be aware, and I'm sure you all are. Okay, so let me just check in with the chat. Time is flying by. Um, let me just see where we are here. All right. Okay, so it looks like there's just a lot of chatting going on, and that's great. I think. Oh, yeah, cold in Oklahoma. I think it's just cold everywhere. I got to tell you. Um, uh, okay. It looks like you all are just talking to each other, which is wonderful, and that's great. I'm just going to scroll down, see if I've missed anything. Okay, you beautiful people. Hi, my other's keeper. Thank you for being here. That's amazing. So I wanted to tell you about this walk I'm doing. I'm not asking you for money, so don't freak out or panic. Where is my... Here it is. It's 62 miles. It's called 62 Miles Your Way in March for the American Heart Association. And so anybody that's interested, I can forward this to you to see if you'd be interesting to walk. Basically it's walking 2 or 3 miles a day. And I know people might go, oh my God, I don't have time to walk 2 or 3 miles a day. You probably walk 2 or 3 miles in your house, up and down stairs, in and around doing chores. We're moving. For me, it is geared towards heart health. It is geared towards me raising my heart rate. My cardiologist feels that I need to get that going a little bit stronger. And as we all go through challenging times, and I know that I'm expecting at least 2 deaths in the next 6 months, family, and things happen, and there's going to be more coming. I think that personally, I need to find ways to get myself more active. March, I start my indoor plantings for my vegetable garden. If the weather cooperates, although with this Nordic air, I don't see it changing for March, I have to completely redo my garden. It's a small space, and so there's going to be a lot of manual labor there. But it's not the same, the doctor said. So I need to pump up the arms and get my body moving. So if anybody is interested, thanks for stopping by, Shannon. If anybody is interested in sort of doing this challenge with me, you don't have to do it legitimately through the American Heart Association, but I think it would be fun. I am going to have people through the American Heart Association to commiserate with, because you got to do it winter, spring, summer, or fall, rain. So I'm very excited about that. And I just saw Eric say something. Hold on. What did Eric say? One thing that bothers Eric is when people say safe and healthy. It bothers me a lot with anxiety, stress, and my high functioning autism. I don't like those words. Yeah, so it's I think you're referring to with pets. Am I correct? I don't know if there's something else going on in the chat for you, Eric, but um, we definitely, there's an awareness, um, with people. We have to be respectful. Not everybody loves animals. I know I can't figure it out, but I also don't walk in their shoes. So I don't know what happened to them. My mother did not like cats. She was traumatized by cats and wouldn't let me have one as a kid. Um, my father and an uncle disrespected her and brought one to us kids when we were little. And she was pissed because she was the one that was going to get stuck cleaning the cat. And then my mother, again, didn't want pets, and we ended up with dogs. Um, as we got older, the kids got older, we helped take care of those dogs, but it fell to my mother. It fell to my grandmother who lived with us. Um, so there's got to be an element of respect um, when it comes to pets. It wasn't until, gosh, my mother died in October of 2016. There was a stray cat in the area that I'd seen for a couple of years, but I swear this was God. I'm just going to be honest with you. It was angels from heaven that sent this abandoned cat to me. And this cat sat on the stoop outside the kitchen with me, and I would give him treats. I came to find out his name was Spike, and there were people that did own him, but he was an outdoor cat, and for whatever reason, they didn't like him indoors, and they said he was difficult. That cat, in the 6, 8 months I knew that cat, never gave me one iota of difficulty. Um, so that's why I say he was heaven sent to me, because I was being prepared for a loss, and that cat, Spike, got me out of bed. Um, and um, it took us all of maybe 30 days for him to move into my house after my mom died. I was going to respect my mother no matter what, towards the end, especially. Um, and so I set up on the porch this little space for the cat because it was starting to get cold for the winter. I would bring the cat in briefly just to smell around the house. And then he'd bolt back outdoors. And when he moved in with me, he only went outside to go to the bathroom. And then he was at that front door, like, lady, let me back in. Um, that cat died 6 months after my mom died. Um, and I have to say, that cat did save me those 6 months. And then for me, in conversations with my therapist, she was like, basically, get your ass to the animal shelter and get yourself another cat, because I needed something to get me out of bed in the morning. I literally needed a reason to get up. And that's when I met Sweet Pea. And that's when Sweet Pea rescued me. So our cats bring us love. They bring us affection. They bring us this sense of calm and balance. Um, so anybody, I want to see, are there any questions? I think we've found out quite a bit. Oh, so Eric, it's about those words. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Um, that might be something that I have to be more aware of too. So, um, I agree, Mish. When we bring an animal into our home, they're not able to fend for themselves in the same way. So just releasing them back into the wild isn't the kindest of things to do. That's for darn sure. So um, just consider, if you don't have a pet and you're able, and that's the other thing about animals, right? If you can't feed it, you can't take it to the vet, you can't care for it, don't get one. They're a living, breathing creature. They need care. If you're not in the headspace or the financial space, don't. In our community here, every month, I think it's the second Saturday of every month, um, people bring a truckload of cat and dog food. And people can just come pick it up for their animals that already have them but are struggling to feed their pets. No judgment. I don't get to avail myself of that because my little chuckleheads, and yes, let me just reintroduce you to those little chuckleheads. Dun, 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 dun. These two. I'm going to share this picture. And let's go there. Those two don't eat regular dog food. They won't. They will sit there for days and not eat it. So those two little chuckleheads, they really push my patience when it comes to food. And but there are communities that do help within your area, but I can't speak for anybody else's area. And so just to regroup, thank you all for being here. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you haven't liked the video, please do so. And after this, if you wouldn't mind just putting a comment in, share your pets' names in the comment section. It helps get this video out to other people in the community. I'll be posting some things as March approaches for my heart health walk. Would love if any of you want to be challenged and follow me along. That'd be great. I need the support. I also need the accountability because I am one of these people that gets stuck sometimes and need a kick in the tuchus to, go out there and walk. And I think that's all on the subject today. So I just wanted to, again, thank you for being here. Thank you for your generosity. And for those that are new, welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know if I got to introduce myself to you. Obviously, you found me. I'm Teresa. This is my channel, Wounds to Wisdom, where we talk about just because we have wounds doesn't mean that we don't have knowledge that we can share. It's our wisdom. It's our history. It's our story. And it's to help us build community with each other, to bring relatability and companionship. So consider me your service dog because I'm here. It's unconditional love. It's non-judgmental in this community, or at least in my channel. And until we walk in a mile in someone else's shoes, it's just about love. Jesus said, it's about love. Love each other. Love God. Love each other. So I love you all. Have a great day.
Ooh, it's okay to let go. You're not alone. Stand your ground. Take it slow. The way you've been shown. Trust yourself, you to get through.